Recruiting is heating up. It's on an absolute heater right now. Want to just give you some quick hitters on the latest in the world of recruiting. We had some big visits over the course of the weekend. Had a big commitment yesterday when Isaiah Gibson, former USC commit, decommitted from USC not that long ago, and it also didn't take that long for him to give his commitment to the in-state Georgia Bulldogs. And here's the thing, man. Georgia, they're up to number 2 right now in the On3 industry team recruiting rankings for 2025. Did anybody think Georgia was just going to go quietly into that good night? Like, I think before Georgia was somewhere in that 4 range or just outside that top 3. They were flirting with like that top 3 range, but it wasn't like the top 2, number 1 ranking we've seen Georgia have over the course of the last couple of seasons. We really think they were just going to fade. No, I don't think any of us really did. Landing Isaiah Gibson, that 5-star is massive. Watch Georgia close now. Watch them close. Watch them as we get into the fall. And this is not an intel segment. It's just a feel for it segment. I think Georgia's ability to pitch stability is always an ace when it comes closer and closer to pen meeting paper. Because you have this whole recruiting, flurry during the summer, and kids commit, kids decommit, and, the Hayes Fawcett machine is just working overtime. But when it comes time for guys to make decisions, you look up at the standings, look at who's in that college football playoff discussion and conference title discussion, and consistently, Georgia is usually in there. Kirby Smart, best coach in college football right now. Pretty hard, I think, to tell that individual no. Right now, at the time of us being live, seems to also be some confidence around 5-star in-state defensive lineman Justice Terry, so keep an eye on that. But Georgia, man, recruiting like a program, Kirby Smart doing Kirby Smart things. Who would have thought? Probably you, because you're a smart, diehard, sicko college football fan. Now, speaking of teams that have consistently recruited well, Alabama, they're under new management. Kalen DeBoer now is cooking. He's cooking, and if you follow me on the socials, you already saw my reaction to this in real time. Right now, they have 18 commits in 2025. They landed 4-star interior offensive lineman Micah DeBose over the weekend. And this is what the rest of college football does not want to happen. Because when Nick Saban retired, regardless of who Alabama had hired next, the optics for that logo were vulnerable. Not weak, not down, vulnerable. Vulnerable for somebody else to take pole position and take some of that talent that had been consistently committing to Alabama. Well, Kalen DeBoer right now, again, is crushing on the recruiting trail. Top 5 class. If they win on the field, that's going to open the floodgates. Because right now, if you're committing to Alabama, you're committing to the vision. I have to believe in some small part Kalen DeBoer is maximizing that logo. But if they go win on the field and they make the college football playoff, or they win the SEC, or they're in Atlanta, things get very scary for the rest of college football. Because that advantage maybe you thought you had on Alabama with their optics being vulnerable, they're not vulnerable anymore. Once Kalen DeBoer wins on the field and proves to these kids, hey, you commit to Alabama, what you wanted to accomplish under Saban, you can still accomplish here while I'm running the show. So jump on board and commit. That's dangerous for the rest of college football when they stabilize those optics. So Kalen DeBoer is cooking. Alabama is rolling. What else is new when it comes to recruiting in Tuscaloosa? Hey, look at Michigan, man. Look at Michigan. So inspirational. They're going to push for a top 10 class. That is what Steve Wiltfong said this morning on Andy Staples on 3. So another reason to subscribe to this channel. Right now, Michigan is sitting in that 14 spot. Now think about what we have known Michigan to be over the course of the last, let's just call it 5 or so years. Under Jim Harbaugh's Michigan, Wolverines, they'd recruit, but really they were more of a heavy developmental program. Like, we'll go get the OKGs, the guys that fit our system, the gritty, the grinders, the hard hat, the lunch pail. Heck, we'll take a 3-star, we don't care. And we will put him through our development machine, and he'll be an absolute stud when he hits the field. Yeah, he was a 3-star when we recruited him. He's now playing like a 5-star. We saw the big paws on that dog, and now he's eating greedy. Michigan right now, they got 2 commitments yesterday, 12 total in the class of 2025. If they recruit at a top 10 level and they pair high-level talent, better raw ingredients, and keep that high-level developmental apparatus in place, all bets are off. All bets are, I mean, delete all the Sharon Moore slander off your Twitter page if you still have time to. Like, I'm just saying, that is dangerous if Michigan is able to develop still at a top 10 level and then recruit at a top 10 level. God bless you. God bless you. Now, Oregon, they had a massive recruiting weekend this past weekend as well. They had not one, not two, but 3 5-star defensive backs on campus, from Trey McNutt to DJ Pickett to Jonah Williams. They also had the top wide receiver in America out there on campus in 5-star DeCorian Moore. This is not intel here, all right? This next sentence is not intel. I am fascinated to see what another year of success would do for Dan Lanning in Oregon. Because listen, Dan Lanning has proven like he's going to do what he does. We are going to go after top caliber players. We're going to go after 5-stars. You think about Oregon back in the day, and it was like, hey, maybe they'll land the 4-star guy. They're probably going to go with the 3-star guy that fits their system, the fast guy for Chip Kelly to use. But like, Dan Lanning's like, that's great. We appreciate that. It's definitely the foundation to what Oregon football has been and how we got here. But like, when they recruit 5-star guys and they stack classes like Dan Lanning is doing right now, that's how you win national championships. And so that's an impressive list of visitors. We'll see what happens in the long run. But the thing that I'm encouraged by from the Oregon fan is like, yeah, Dan Lanning is swinging a hot bat. He's swinging a corked bat with that Nike logo behind him. And like, Oregon's going to factor in, I think, for a lot of big-time players when it comes time for pen to meet paper. And they already are when it comes to how they're doing on the recruiting trail. So a lot of big-time visits, a lot of big-time action on the trail this past weekend. Recruiting is starting to heat up. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.